you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheap again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Naruto Enters DANI Phantom Verse. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago, KFB, Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300. On FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the authors too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Thank you. Dora said, as it was nice to be around such positivity when she was normally surrounded by darkness. Now hold still while I do your hair. Naruto will have quite the reaction when I'm through with you, she said, as braiding hair or tying it was one of the few pastimes she had. Few hours later. Hey handsome, Valerie said to him, opening the door to Naruto in a complete black suit. Damn, Naruto said, seeing Valerie wear a burgundy cutout peplum bodycon casual party short jumpsuit that hugged her body amazingly. With DANI. Sure, this is alright, DANI said, wearing a short black dress that was dangerously close, revealing her assets. Told you I know dresses. Naruto won't be able to take his eyes off of you, Dora said, as even though it was very revealing for her taste, she knew the dress was magnificent. You sure we shouldn't go with the silver dress? DANI asked, as she was really liking the silver, as her ghost form showed it was really her color. What's your choice? It all matters what you want, Dora asked her. My heart's pounding too loud to hear anything, DANI said, looking for jewelry to wear, and saw Dora's necklace and was once again in a hypnotic trance and put it on. My necklace, Dora said in surprise, seeing it on someone else. Yeah, please, can I borrow it? It looks amazing, DANI said, checking herself out in the mirror. Dora normally would have said no, but DANI displayed she had a rather lax attitude and didn't seem to have the necessary rage or anger needed to activate the necklace. Very well, but please remain calm. The transformation triggers from rage, she said, warning her of the dangers. I will, but again, do you think he'd like the black or the silver? DANI asked, as she wondered which color suited her more. If he truly loves you, it won't matter, you look beautiful in both, Dora said to her. I doubt my mom's gonna let me out in the black dress, DANI said. Got that right, Jazz said, in a navy blue dress. Why the hell are you dressed up? You're a senior, DANI asked her. I signed up to be a chaperone. It was me or our parents, Jazz said simply. Thank you, Jazz. Can we talk? DANI asked her, as they talked briefly before, but it was still weird with the silence between them. Sure. What's wrong? Jazz asked her as she walked into the room. I want my sister back, DANI said, a little saddened. Jazz was quiet. Maybe I should stop being such a bitch, she thought, as she knew DANI was dating Naruto, a guy who she really liked, as he didn't just blow her off for her theories and ideas. I can't take the silence, the glares, Jazz. I miss hanging out with my big sister, smiling when you do something funny. Please, I can't take it. Geez, the makeup, DANI said, as she began tearing up, which began messing up her eyeliner. You always did suck at makeup, Jazz said, as she helped her sister with her makeup, as they laughed, no hate or walls between them. Dora smiled, seeing the sisters begin talking as Jazz helped her, and wondered what her bond with her brother could have been like if he wasn't so dark. Look, DANI, about the cold shoulder. I'm sorry for putting distance between us, for hurting you, Jazz said, not telling her the reason was because she liked Naruto, as that would make matters awkward. Can we please cut the crap and go back to being sisters again? DANI asked, not one to beat around the bush. Come here, little sis, Jazz said, pulling her into a hug as they laughed. Now let's fix this and see how you look in that silver dress, she said with a smile, as did DANI. Oh, and who are you? She asked, forgetting about Dora for a moment. She's a friend. Apparently she lives with her brother, who's a jerk, and I'm letting her sleep over as things cool down back at her house, DANI said, silently berating herself as she came up with that lie on the spot. Yes, I go to a different school, and DANI offered to bring me to the dance with her, Dora said to Jazz. Naruto not taking you? Jazz said in surprise as Naruto spoiled her sister to her knowledge. I lost the coin toss. DANI said mumbled under her breath. He's meeting us there, she said to Jazz. All right, come on, I'm driving, Jazz said to them. Wait, let me get the silver on, DANI said as Dora handed her the long shining silver dress. All right, Mom already did her photo thing with me. I'll be in the car waiting, Jazz said as her mom rarely saw either of her daughters in dresses. Few minutes later. Whoa, oh, Jack said, seeing DANI at the top of the stairs with the silver dress on and her hair put into a ponytail with some braids. Baby, you look beautiful, Maddie said in awe of her daughter's beauty. Oh, Mom, DANI said, rolling her eyes. FYI, that black dress, off limits, until you're 30, Maddie said with a chuckle. Buzzkill, DANI said to her. I try, Maddie said with a smile as she hugged DANI. Oh, this is Dora, some trouble back home, so she's gonna go with me. Get her mind off things, DANI said as she knew her mom was curious to who she was. Is everything okay? Maddie asked Dora. Brother issues, Dora said to her. I got my pictures now, go, have fun, but not too much fun, Maddie said as she looked at DANI. Ah, and we were gonna do it, DANI said as her mother gave her a look not finding it funny. Geez, I was joking. Goodbye, Dora said moving past DANI's parents as she and DANI left. They grow up so fast, Jack said as Maddie patted his chest. I know, sweetie, Maddie said feeling happy he was here until a ding went off. Oh, the ecto-baker finished the fudge brownies, Jack said opening a microwave oven pulling out a tray of brownies which then attacked him. Maddie let out a sigh as she told her husband they were done with the ecto-appliances after the Christmas goose came alive to kill them years ago before laughing a little seeing the brownies attack him and him refusing to kill the thing he loved. Later at the dance. You know this reminds me how I asked you out, Valerie said as they slowed dance. How? Naruto asked her curiously. Last I checked it was during a spar, not a dance, he said with a smirk. Valerie just chuckled. Remember how that spar went? She asked him. Flashback 7 months back. Naruto and Valerie were currently in Naruto's loft trying some boxing moves. That's it, Val, chin down, arms up, Naruto said to her as he was correcting her form. He smiled when she cocked her fist back, and he blocked it, getting her in a chokehold. Don't do that, coking your fist stuff makes you predictable, he said as even though it increased strength, it gave the opponent time to predict. Hey, Valerie said, trying to escape his chokehold. You want to go out later? She asked him. What? Naruto said, unconsciously lessening his grip only for Valerie to take the opportunity to flip him. Yes, Valerie said in victory, which was short-lived as Naruto swiped her legs, causing her to fall next to him. Damn it, she said as she then laughed next to him, both of them laughing like idiots. Where do you want to go? Naruto asked her curiously. Nasty Burger, Valerie said as that was basically the place where everyone went to. Greasy food awesome, Naruto said as they got up and went. Flashback end. That was fun. Then came DANI, Valerie said, remembering that date with them going to the Nasty Burger, then went to the arcade. Yeah, who'd ever think a guy like me would have 2 gorgeous girlfriends, Naruto said, as happy as one could be. Still can't believe it was you who offered that to her, he said, as that was certainly a surprise to him when she did that. Hey, just be glad it was just her. Handsome. Then again, who knows what the future may bring, Valerie said jokingly, not knowing she was basically tempting fate with her boyfriend. Flashback 6 months back. That's it, DANI, left, right, jab, Naruto said as he was starting DANI off easy with boxing, working her up as she seemed more adept to it. Yeah, get it, girl, you're a pro in the ring, Valerie said, impressed with how easily DANI took to boxing. Thank you, DANI said, getting a little cocky before Naruto sent a jab her way, sending her down. Morons, Kurama thought, a little bored as he knew the bond developing between the 3 of them. Then he began growling as he smelled a certain someone enter the dojo Naruto recently purchased. Wow, a loser on her back with her legs spread, preparing for the future as a slot, Paulina said as she came in and saw DANI on the floor. Why are you here, Paulina? Valerie asked her. Val, I knew you did karate or whatever but fighting with her, Paulina said looking at DANI. And what's wrong with hanging out with DANI? She's better to hang around than you. Valerie said as she was tired of being around Paulina and her bitchy attitude. Her goofball dad, Paulina said. Watch it. DANI said, surprising everyone there as she showed some backbone for the first time. And you want to know something, Paulina? She's dating the guy you've been pining for, Valerie said as she and Naruto were dating under the radar, hiding under being sparring partners, which no one questioned as they did a little club activity in school and afterwards. What? Paulina said as she always assumed Naruto was playing hard to get to see him date DANI was a shock. DANI was frozen with a bright red blush, unable to say anything coherent. Yeah, I'm dating her, Naruto said as Valerie gave him a look. This is a joke. I thought you were wasting your time with Valerie but her? Paulina said as she thought Naruto and Valerie were a little closer than sparring partners. Only joke is the look on your face, DANI said, then backing down as Paulina sent her a glare. Fun while it lasted, Naruto and Valerie thought as Paulina glared at DANI as she left. Flashback end. I still remember how nervous she was when we decided to all date after that, Naruto said as DANI admitted to them she was attracted to them, both revealing to them she was bisexual. The world of bisexuality is a dangerous and exciting one, sweetheart, Valerie said as she had to admit she felt like she was slightly bisexual, only feeling slight attraction to some girls. Whoa, look who just arrived, Naruto said seeing DANI, Dora, and Sam walk in. Hey, check out Paulina, Valerie said with a laugh as the sexy Latino was getting less looks with the girls' sudden arrival. Got to admit, they look hot. Same for Jazz, Naruto said seeing Jazz arrive as well. Why's she here? Valerie asked, knowing she was a senior. Chaperone, it was her or one of DANI's parents, Naruto said to her. Thank God, Valerie said as DANI's mom was a helicopter parent and her dad was a little out there. Yep, now come on, I want to dance with both my girls and I promised this dragon lady a dance, Naruto said, pulling her. I feel kinda bad for Jazz though, she got nobody, Valerie said seeing Jazz all alone. Wait, dragon lady? She asked him curiously. Strange day, Naruto said to her. Strange is the new normal, Valerie said with a chuckle. Do you want Jazz to join us? Naruto asked her. In what way? Valerie asked him curiously. To dance later, I mean she is a chaperone, Naruto said to her. Too kind for his own good, Valerie thought as she thought he meant he was gonna make a move. Sure, and thanks for being you, she said, kissing his cheek. Whoa, love the silver dress, babe, Naruto said to DANI as they approached him. Yeah, Dora helped pick out a dress. There was a black one, but there was no way Mom was going to let me come here in it, DANI said to him. I really need to see this dress, Naruto said with his eyes on her. You all look beautiful, he said with a smile, causing them to blush as they knew his praise was genuine. Are all suitors like him? Dora asked DANI, whispering in her ear. Not a chance, he's one of a kind, DANI said as a lot of men were assholes. Poor Jazz, she got nobody, Sam said seeing Jazz sitting all by herself. You mind dancing with her before me? DANI asked him. I'll make time for all of you, Naruto said with a smile as he went over to Jazz. May I have this dance, my fair lady? He said with a smirk as they shared a laugh. Sure, Jazz said as she knew how to dance rather well. So glad Shinigami taught me to dance, Naruto thought as he had been taught many things by one of the oldest things in history. I am sorry for the cold shoulder I've been giving you and DANI lately, Jazz said as she was avoiding Naruto a lot. I didn't want to say anything as I thought this was between you and DANI, Naruto said to her as he hated to see them like that. It might be between us, but it's about you, Jazz thought, just shoving all her negative thoughts aside, liking the closeness between her and Naruto. You know you can talk to me about anything, right? I'll always make time for you and the others, Naruto said to her, wanting to know he'd be there for her. And that right there is the reason why I really like you, Jazz thought to herself. She looks so happy, DANI said looking at her sister dancing with Naruto. Can give you a reason why, The other girls thought amazed DANI didn't notice it as she was almost as naive as Naruto was. "How many dances do you know?" Jazz said as she was changing up the dances as they went and Naruto was keeping up with her. "A lot. Most of them are more romantic dances, but some are just for fun," Naruto said as he became very skilled in this area. "Is there anything you can't do? What's next? You play guitar?" Jazz asked him jokingly. "Yep, and a lot of other instruments. I can do anything, baby," Naruto said as he had a lot of free time. "I swear he seriously gets hotter," Jazz thought in amazement. "You know, I've been thinking. You're not mad because I'm dating DANI, are you?" Naruto asked her. "Fuck, did he figure out that I like him?" Jazz thought in embarrassment. "I mean, was this about Genius magazine?" Naruto asked her as he kinda helped her sister steal the spotlight she was trying to aim at her mom. "I swear he's smart, but he's an idiot when it comes to women's feelings," Jazz thought as he wasn't an asshole. But he was a little infuriating not picking up on hints she sent him before he started dating her sister. "I mean, if this is about me, I'm sorry for hurting you, if I did," Naruto said to her, feeling guilty. "You're way too compassionate, I swear. Now go dance with my sister," Jazz said as this was DANI's night to enjoy. "Okay, ma'am," Naruto said jokingly as she sent him a look. "About time," DANI said as she dragged Naruto to the dance floor. "So who does he dance with next, me or you?" Dora asked Sam. "You all be taking DANI dancing after him," Sam said as DANI filled her in on who the woman was in the ride here. "That dress goes perfect with your blue eye, baby," Naruto said to DANI, focusing on her face, both of them staring into the other's eyes, not paying attention to much else. Bitch, Paulina thought as she watched DANI dance with Naruto. "Only one thing could make this perfect," DANI said as she pulled him into a kiss. "It wasn't rough, but very gentle and loving, making this perfect. I'd give you and Valerie the heavens if you wanted it. I'd do whatever it takes to make you happy," Naruto said as he was willing to do anything for them, no matter what, to make sure they were happy. "Just being with you is enough for me," DANI said as she leaned her head onto his chest, smiling as she felt the warmness of his body and heard his heartbeat, which made her feel at ease. Suddenly, DANI felt herself being pulled away from him as Paulina yanked her back. "What's your problem?" DANI asked her angrily. "I'm tired of you dating someone out of your league," Paulina said to her with a glare. "Oh, we talking about leagues, because I'd say mine is higher than yours," DANI said with a challenging look. Paulina growled as she tosses her drink in DANI's face, ruining her makeup and soaking her dress. DANI's eyes glowed bright green, even greener than when she was in ghost form, and began to glow. "My necklace," Dora said to Naruto. "What?" Naruto said in surprise as instead of a blue dragon, DANI transformed into a black dragon with white and green highlights and the tip of her tail light on fire, the fire being green. "That's different. Usually whenever I change it's a blue dragon," Dora said in fear. "Because that's you. That must be what your necklace views her as, a dragon. A phantom dragon," Naruto said, thinking that necklace must affect others differently, as with DANI's powers it might amplify the powers and form she had as a dragon. "You ruined my perfect dream dance," Dragon DANI said as she's been waiting for this dance for a long time, and the chance to dance with Naruto. "Ugh, what can we do here exactly?" Valerie said as she was fitted with ecto and anti-ecto type parts, both of which could cause DANI serious harm. "Everybody run," Jazz said in fear, seeing the dragon. "Where's DANI?" she thought, running outside. Dragon DANI roared as she shot green flames at Paulina, but Naruto, in ghost mode, got in front of her, blocking the flames. "How do we change her back?" Sam asked Dora. "Remove the necklace or calm her down. The transformation is triggered by rage," Dora said as it was hard for anyone to control themselves wearing the necklace. "Removing the necklace off a dragon with all of DANI's powers? Yeah, this'll be easy," Valerie said as she knew DANI fired a lot of powerful ecto-blasts. "Run," Naruto told Paulina before looking back to DANI. "Oh, I was just saved by the ghost boy," Paulina thought as she thought he was handsome when all that flying meat happened in the cafeteria as she ran away. "Phantom? Hey, babe, focus on me, focus on my voice," Naruto said, getting DANI's attention off of Paulina. This was supposed to be perfect. A night I'd always remember, Dragon DANI said as Naruto began to pet her face, pressing into it, wanting to feel more of Naruto's touch. It was perfect, baby. As long as I'm with the women I love, everything will always be perfect. Naruto said as he smiled hearing her purr. It was? Dragon DANI asked him as she slowly transformed back to her human self as Naruto unclipped the necklace. Yep, I can safely guarantee this is a night I'll remember forever, Naruto said as everyone began to laugh. Oh, dreadfully, sorry about all this. I shouldn't have let you use my necklace, even if it went perfect with your dress, Dora said as she felt very guilty as everyone but the group was gone. It's fine, no big deal, Naruto said as he went to where the DJ was playing and began playing some songs. Danny, Jazz said as she came back and ran to her sister, embracing her. Are you okay? Are you hurt? I'm fine, sis. Really? Danny said with a smile as Jazz came rushing back in and berated them for staying inside. While they talk, care for a dance, Your Majesty? Naruto asked Dora, making her laugh. Well, Sam seems to be getting her dance, so I should as well, Dora said, taking his hand with a smile, seeing Sam walk over to Danny. Few hours later. I'm very saddened I have to leave, Dora said as Naruto walked her to the portal. Don't think of it as a goodbye, but more like, see you later, Naruto said, smiling. Besides the incident with my necklace, I had fun, Dora said as the necklace was around her neck again. Just keep that confidence, and you'll be able to knock your brother right on his ass, Naruto said with a smirk. You truly believe I can best my older brother? Dora asked him, feeling uncertainty. Yes, Naruto said, giving her a hug. Dora accepted the hug immediately, never receiving very many hugs in her afterlife. Now go and take him down, and take that throne. If you need help, I'll be here for you, Naruto said, giving her a smile in assurance. Dora nodded. This rebellion will take time, she thought, knowing she was one of few who would stand up to her brother. Few days later at Naruto's dojo. Ready? Naruto asked Valerie as she wanted to have a full-on spar. Ready, Valerie said as she got into a stance. Naruto threw the first strike while Valerie dodged and tried to counter. Come on, Valerie thought as she had been watching Naruto closely, trying to find an opening in his technique, training on ways to counter him so she can actually win a spar, as Naruto had gotten her on her back or pinned down multiple times in under 2 minutes, and that just made her want to fight him more. Naruto caught a punch and flipped her over on her back. Had enough yet? He asked her. Valerie just pulled her legs back and jumped right back up. Not even close, she said in excitement. Then let's keep going, baby, Naruto said with a challenging grin. Valerie just charged him and sent a high kick to his face, which he caught despite her incredible speed. He then twisted and flipped her onto her front. Before Valerie can get back up, Naruto gets behind her and kept her down. What are you gonna do now, baby? Naruto asked her teasingly. You like having me helpless, don't you? Valerie asking him as she rubbed herself against him in her pinned position. Both couldn't resist and had to make it the moment of their date life. Yes, holy shit, yes, Valerie screamed in pure bliss. That was amazing. I can't feel my legs, Valerie said as her legs felt numb and like jelly. Yeah, didn't know I had that in me, Naruto said as all he felt primal lust. I mean, I knew you were a stamina freak, but damn, Valerie said, then noticed something. You're still hard, she said in surprise. Sometimes I think that thing doesn't go down. You're exhausted. Honey, let's call it a night before you really get hurt, Naruto said, concerned that she's going to hurt herself trying to please him. Listen, honey, I love you to hell and back, and I'd love to keep going, but I can't take this thing by myself, Valerie said, glad she had Danny in their relationship because Naruto's member was a multiple woman job. Well, thankfully we got Danny, but I'm pretty sure she's asleep by now, Naruto said to her. Even then, it's probably not enough, honey, Valerie said as she didn't want to leave her man with blue balls, so she got to work blowing him, not knowing how full and how sore her jaw would be tomorrow. Next day at Valerie's house. Morning, Naruto said to Valerie as he went to see her after their love session last night. Yeah, everything hurts, Valerie said, feeling sore all over. Well, next time we get Danny, Naruto said to her. From what I felt last night, that monster is going to be more than a two-woman problem, baby, Valerie said as she didn't know if she or DANI could handle him all alone. What? Don't think DANI can handle it? Naruto asked her. Honey, it'd be lucky if she can form any sentences after you're done with her, Valerie said as she was surprised she was even conscious right now. What are you saying? Naruto asked her. You saying you're not up for the challenge, he said teasingly. Valerie glared at him and grabbed him below the belt. Bring it on, she said, looking him deep in the eye. But if she and I can't handle it, we may need to consider getting more girls, she said to him. You want me to get a harem? Naruto asked her. I overheard DANI and Sam talk about it. Sounded like FUNN also needed. Valerie said, I swear you are a nymphomaniac's fantasy, she said as Naruto completely satisfied her last night. But what about you or DANI? Naruto asked her as she was a part of this decision too. Baby, we get the say on who's in or out. For starters, Sam and Jazz have feelings for you. It's what started the whole crap between her and DANI, Valerie said as she loved Naruto, but he was dense. It was why she asked him out. Okay, I'll do it. But I will show all of you the same amount of love, Naruto said, making her smile. That's all that's needed, baby, Valerie said as she kissed his cheek. Hey baby, check it out. I'm an elemental, check it, Naruto said as he coughed into his hand. A puff of flames came out. I don't know why, but it seems like I'm gaining new powers with each day, he said, thinking it's kinda cool. Well, you're not the only one getting upgrades, Valerie said as she and DANI were able to pull the parts she has in her out and upgrade them. Any other powers show up? Naruto asked her curiously. Well, I was near a blaster and I absorbed it. I think I absorbed tech and integrated into my body. I swear I saw that in a cartoon once, Valerie said as that was the only power she had. Besides that, I don't have the normal ghost stuff like you. That's all I got. Oh, and I got a chainsaw, she said, making a chainsaw come out of her wrist. That's cool. To be honest, Val, I'm kinda scared of my powers, Naruto said. Scared? Why? What's wrong? Valerie asked him, concerned. My powers keep growing so fast. Like I feel like I'm just getting more powerful with each day, and that fact scares me, Naruto said, afraid of what that power may turn into. I feel, what's the old saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. What if I keep getting more power and I become like the ghosts we fight? He said, afraid that he'd become like the ghosts they fight. You won't, baby. Me, DANI, and the others will always be here for you. We won't let you go bad, Valerie said, rubbing his cheek. Few weeks later. How do you two do this all the time? Tucker asked as he, Naruto, and DANI were in the lab modifying gear, making sure it didn't backfire. Hey, be glad you don't absorb every piece of tech around you. It gets so annoying. I had a toaster fly at me last night, Valerie said as her power got annoying after a while since she couldn't always control it. Whatever, bet it's cool being like Generator Rex. That was the show I was thinking of, Tucker asked her. It's not like that I take tech into me. Also, I'm not even like DANI or Naruto, Valerie said as they tested her blood, and she was 90% human with 10% ecto energy in her cells, and she only possessed the one power. So how does that work? Like you absorb one thing and all the other things of that specific thing don't go to you anymore? Tucker asked her. Sorta, it's like I absorb different types of tech into me, and the weird thing is I don't feel it inside me, it just becomes energy into my cells, and I can reconstruct it to fit my body. We added the rest okay Skulker's suit to me after some upgrades, Valerie said to him as Naruto and DANI reconfigured the tech and wanted it to be safe for integration into her. Awesome, it'd be cool to have powers, Tucker said, wishing he had powers. Who knows, maybe you will get powers, if you're lucky, Naruto said as ecto energy was supposed to have a negative effect on the human body, but they all felt fine. Enough power talk, here comes my dad with another of his inventions, DANI said as her dad came in with a vacuum cleaner. How bad can he mess this up? Naruto asked her. He finds a way, DANI said to him. Hello kids, I give you the Fenton Ghost Weasel. I designed it to be like the thermos, but can hold multiple ghosts, Jack said excitedly. Dad, no it can't. I looked at your specs and it only has the capability of holding one ghost. DANI said silently, thanking her mother for teaching her things about tech and ghost tech. Limits were meant to be tested, sweetie, Jack said, trying to sound cool. Pretty sure that mainly applies to people, Tucker said plainly. Okay, just give me a heads up before it explodes, so I can find a place to hide when it does, Valerie said, as if it was a common thing. Jack turned it on, and it began sucking everything in before the thermos got lodged in it. We emptied that out right, Valerie asked Naruto, getting a nod, and was relieved as the thermos held about 50 or so ghosts. Dad, you might want to turn it off, DANI said before her dad put it in reverse, causing the thermos to get sent flying right into the on button of the ghost portal. Great, she muttered. Don't, I'll get the FANFICTION unlodger, Jack said as he ran upstairs. The portal opened up and out came a ghost of a man, looking like a mad scientist. Children, you have freed me, Technus, Ghost Master of Science and Electrical Technology, Technus said loudly. Great, he talks in the third person. I hate him already, Naruto said, as this showed the man was an egomaniac. Oh no you don't. You're not going to use the tech in this room to take over the world. Or whatever it is you want to do, DANI said to him as the others slapped their faces. What? That's a great idea. Have you ever considered tutoring? Technus asked her, thinking she was very bright. Well, my sister's studying to become a psychologist, DANI said, making a jab at his mental state. That's nice. It's good to have a goal in mind, child, Technus said, summoning some kind of staff that crackled with electricity. Okay, lightning rod, eat ghost flames, Naruto said, throwing blue ecto fireballs at him. Technus yelped as he dodged. Geez, who taught you to shoot fire, Ember? He asked him. Ember? Naruto asked as he felt like he heard that name before in his very few passings when he ventured to the ghost zone with Shinigami. Does this guy just talk the whole time or what? Tucker said as he was already bored of this guy. Technus was offended by that, so he shot electricity at Tucker, but Naruto seemed to absorb it. Whoa, okay, another new power. This is seriously getting old by now, Naruto said as he was getting sick of all the new powers by now. Can someone please get this guy out of here before my dad gets back? DANI said. On it, Tucker said, turning on the ghost weasel, which began sucking Technus into it. It ain't turning off, he said as it kept sucking in more and more tech as it began to expand, then blew up Technus, becoming one giant mess of green goop. He got in my mouth, he said as he accidentally swallowed. The others said as Tucker gagged. Coming down, kids, I found the unlodger. Jack's voice came from upstairs and saw the lab in its goo-covered state and just shrugged and walked away as he saw the thermos out of the vacuum device. I swear, Valerie said as it was baffling how he was a scientist. Let's take this under a microscope, Naruto said as ectoplasm to each ghost was supposedly different. I got one in my room, DANI said, leaving to get it. Few minutes later. So this is what ectoplasm looks like up close? DANI asked in amazement. Not exactly, not sure if ectoplasm has ones and zeros in it. This is basically ectoplasmic code, Naruto said, seeing the cells. So what? He's become a virus? Tucker asked curiously. I think so, Naruto said. Gah, and I had him in my mouth? Blech, Tucker said as he tried to vomit but just got a headache. Guys, if he's become a virus, then what does that mean about the tech he landed on? DANI said, not liking the thought of a tech ghost with anti-ghost technology at his disposal. Maybe your dad had the right idea with a vacuum, Valerie said as she went down to get it to clean up Technus goo. My dad being right? That's never happened before, DANI said in amazement. I'm not going to be infected, right? Tucker said, worried. No dude, you're human, Naruto said, looking at some goo on his shoulder which looked cut. You okay? He asked, not wanting the ectoplasma to infect the wound. When that thing blew up, some of the pieces cut my shoulder. I think I'm okay, Tucker said, not knowing that tiny amount of goo was circulating in his bloodstream. What happens if he gets electrocuted? We got our powers when ecto energy and electricity course through our bodies. Would that give him powers? DANI asked, worried about her friend. No, the portal unleashed a lot. He'll be fine, Naruto said as they went downstairs to see Valerie shooting Technus goo into the FANFICTION portal. Tucker trusted Naruto, but the worry was still there. I'm amazed he could repair this thing so quickly. Naruto said, amazed at how Jack can repair things so fast. So, electric powers. When were you gonna tell me? DANI asked Naruto. I didn't know, and sometimes I feel like anything any ghost can do I can, and it's beginning to scare me, babe. Naruto said, feeling scared of his powers. Hey, it's gonna be alright, DANI said to him as she understood what he meant. My powers are evolving, DANI. Faster. It's like with each day I'm getting more and more powers and it's scaring me. What if I become? Naruto was saying. DANI silenced Naruto with a kiss. Babe, we can get through this, but being scared of it will just make things even more crazy. We'll be here for you every step of the way. There is no way you will ever become evil, she said with a smile as he smiled back at her. I'm gonna go, Tucker said as he felt like a third wheel and also wanted to rest as he was having a major headache. Naruto pulled DANI into another kiss, which seemed to make her excited, as then her body went intangible and her pants fell off of her. Oh, she said, embarrassed as Naruto saw her in her small white panties. She goes to put her pants back on, but Naruto stops her, and they ran up to her room. Naruto and DANI made out on their way to DANI's room, not caring if anyone saw her missing her pants, and when they made it there, they looked at each other, breathing heavily. Valerie told me you had sex, DANI said, blushing in embarrassment. I want to do it, she said nervously. You know it's not a competition, right? Naruto said, wanting her to know he was okay waiting until she was ready. But why should she get all the fun? Please? DANI said as she began giving him the puppy dog eyes. How the hell does she remain both cute and hot? Naruto thought in wonder, seeing her phase her shirt off, showing her matching white bra to go with her panties. So, still want to pass this up? DANI asked him as she did some poses for him. Come here, baby, Naruto said, pulling her on top of him as he began making out with her. Yeah, call me baby, DANI said as she began moaning as Naruto kissed her neck, biting it slightly, making her moan out. Baby, honey, sweetheart, lover, Naruto said to her in between kisses on her neck. Both enjoying like there was no tomorrow. Naruto tiredly, and when there was a knock at the door, Naruto bolted while she went under her sheets but let out a sigh of relief as she saw Valerie. Gotta say, DANI, I'm impressed, Valerie said as she walked in. You took that monster like a champ, she said in amazement. I can't feel anything below my waist, DANI said to her. Lets you know he did a great job, Valerie said. Val, you and me aren't gonna stand a chance against him, DANI said to her and motioned to come closer. Sam gave me an idea, she said in exhaustion as she whispered into Valerie's ear what she suggested, which Valerie agreed to immediately. Oh, and Valerie, one more thing, she said to her before Valerie cut her off. FYI, I already knew about that harem thing as I eavesdropped on you all, Valerie said to her. Good to know, but I wanted to tell you this. I'm staking my claim, DANI said to her simply. Good job, baby. Wow, you're really growing in confidence, Valerie said as DANI then pulled her into a kiss. Not what I meant, but yeah, what I meant was, I'm Naruto's top beach, DANI said to her seriously. Considering you lasted way longer than me, I'll agree to that, sister, Valerie said as she was surprised when DANI began rubbing her ass, then gave it a firm squeeze. That means you're lower on the food chain, Valerie, DANI said in a calm tone of voice. Okay, Valerie said, both a little scarred and turned on. On it, baby, Valerie said in a batty tone as she got to work, but DANI stopped her. Mistress in bed, DANI said to her, still in the calm tone of voice. She's scary hot and confident in bed, Valerie thought, very turned on by it. Yes, mistress. I don't know if I can come anymore. It's a miracle I felt that at all, DANI said as she was exhausted but still felt pleasure from Valerie cleaning her out. Trust me, I can understand that, Valerie said as she was bolligged after every time Naruto did her. I think I'll just go to sleep, DANI said as exhaustion took over and she fell asleep. Good night, mistress, Valerie said as she walked away, feeling like she'd enjoy having DANI as her mistress. School. I think that dress suited you, Naruto said as DANI was blushing up a storm. Needed more black, but can I count on you guys? Sam asked, giving them a Save the Frogs button. Trust me, I have a soft side for animals, Naruto said as he preferred toads, but frogs were as close as any. Yeah, I'm in. I mean, I kinda feel for the little guys, DANI said as she didn't like the idea of using a live creature or a dead one sometimes as a way of learning something they'd never use again unless one decided to be a surgeon. I'm in love with animals, even the scaly ones, so how's the new locker? Heard Lancer was thrilled about your new one? Valerie asked as Sam gave her a button. Yeah, it's so sad. Heard the story about that one. Apparently a kid was bullied so much he committed suicide, DANI said as she hated that as a person bullying another could push someone to do unspeakable acts. It's why I'm a part of stopping bullying, Naruto said as the school did have a program, it's just many of the students that were A-listers didn't really give a rat's ass. Think the kid's ghost is there? If so, maybe he could use some help. Is that how it works? Tucker asked as they'd seen Stranger. No way, the ghost zone is a straight shot after death, DANI said as that's how it worked. So you die, then go there? My understanding of life and death is so messed up now, Valerie said to them. Not necessarily my dad's theory, DANI said hearing them groan. It's actually not a bad one, he said. A ghost may have unfinished business or strong desire, even in death, like an obsession that keeps them in the ghost zone, she said to them. Hey, can you answer me this? Is talking to a ghost about their obsession or how they died considered like taboo in the ghost zone? Sam asked as she would have loved to hear stories about it. It might. Dying is never easy. I assume the same could be said about being forced to remember how you die. We all don't get it easy, Sam, like dying in our sleep. Sometimes it gets worse, Naruto said as he knew not everyone died peacefully. Yeah, time to check out the new locker 724, DANI said seeing her rusty old locker. Ah, this is just sad. They couldn't clean it up? Talk about no respect for the dead, she said pulling it open, literally hearing the rust creak. Seeing a mirror. Ooh, nice mirror. At least they kept something clean, Sam said, liking the mirror. That's no ordinary mirror, Naruto thought as he felt ghostly energy from it. Is that thing true about ghosts being tied to objects like in those ghost hunting shows? DANI asked, also feeling the energy. Not usually, Naruto said as Shinigami told him about relics in both the human world and ghost world that had special ghostly abilities. This mirror is decades old yet looks perfectly fine, and the only thing I can think of for this mirror is it might be a portal or some kinda looking glass, he thought, as a mirror was pretty basic. It's beautiful. Poor Sydney, DANI said, feeling bad for the student who committed suicide. Unknown to them, the mirror shined for a second as if responding to her. Okay, should we be worried? Valerie asked as she prepared a blaster and looked to her sides. Naruto didn't respond as he saw Dash shoving some kid into a locker. Is this a haunting revenge ghost type situation? Tucker asked as Dash of all people had it coming. I think the mirror was responding to DANI's kind words, Naruto said, giving them his attention back, or her powers, he thought, as it was either or. Something this school has not done, DANI said, looking at the rusted locker that looked ready to fall apart. You mind? Naruto asked, holding out his hand as DANI gave him the mirror, and he looked around and saw Dash was gone, and gave Tucker a look to go free. Mikey, Dash's personal victim. Hello? He asked, seeing if the mirror would respond. The mirror glowed as the glass shined. Hello? A voice came through it. Okay, that is freaky, Sam said in excitement. Sydney Poindexter? DANI asked curiously, wondering how the mirror was able to do this. This thing is no relic, but certainly not just an ordinary mirror, Naruto thought, as the mirror may have acted upon Sydney's death and tied it to his ghost lair. Yo, check it out, it's the 50s, Tucker said as the mirror became like a viewing screen and they saw an old school Casper High. Yep, where bullying was at its best, Naruto said, as he saw the stereotypes like the jocks and cheerleaders were much worse than what they were now. Those aren't ghosts, he said, seeing the gray figures. If those aren't ghosts, then what are they? Sam asked curiously. Shadows or remnants from the people he knew when he was alive, Naruto said, as Poindexter may have been trapped in his ghost lair for some reason. Astounding detective work, a voice said from the mirror. Poindexter? They all asked, seeing a gray-looking kid's face come up. Hello, Sydney Poindexter, in the flesh, so to speak, Sydney said to them with a small chuckle. Wow, kinda the cliché for a 50s nerd, Tucker said to him plainly. And you look like a 20th century nerd, but you don't hear me making comments, Poindexter said to him dryly. Yeah, sorry, Tucker said, as that was the wrong thing to say on his part. You're forgiven. So someone has gotten my locker, have they? How's she looking? Poindexter asked them. A little worse for wear, DANI said, as he deserved the truth. Seriously need oil, or hell, even acid would do. It really needs fixing, she said, showing him his locker. Oh man, Poindexter said, letting out a whiny sigh. Hey, don't worry, we'll fix it up, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Naruto said, as the boy actually smiled. Really? I haven't talked to anyone in years, Poindexter asked, as he hadn't felt kindness in forever. Promise of a lifetime, Naruto said to him, as his image faded. Really need to contact Dad, he thought, needing to talk to Shinigami. Few hours later. Hello son, Shinigami said in what a person might describe as a human form, as he had black hair but pure white on the sides and had a human complexion. Hey Dad, Naruto said, as he gave Kurama a pat on the head as he put his backpack down. Before you ask about Poindexter, I have a gift for you, Shinigami said, handing Naruto a handle-like hilt. Can you give me something? I'm tired of being puny, Kurama said, as Shinigami had a sort of skeleton key to Naruto's seal, as his power was used to do the actual sealing, allowing him to be free in his current form. He's tired of being useless. Can you do something? Naruto asked him, as he looked at the handle he was given. Not really, Naruto, that is entirely up to both of you, Shinigami said, as he didn't give them all the details. Okay, so what's this handle? Naruto asked curiously. And are you telling me I actually have powers in this tiny but adorable form? Kurama asked him, as he felt puny and weak like this. To answer you both in order, that handle is a special weapon, Naruto. It will never leave you no matter where it is, it will return to you and Kurama. The mind often plays tricks, and the things we believe aren't always true, Shinigami said sagely. So you're saying it's all in my head? Kurama asked him. Maybe now Naruto. Poindexter is trapped on a rerun of his bullying life because he hates that he didn't do something. What that is his business, but be careful, a ghost's lair is not something you want to mess with, Shinigami said to him seriously. So, he's trapped there because he never stood up for himself. That or something else. I don't help Ghost in the Ghost Zone, I just run it to keep universal stability and make sure souls move accordingly, Shinigami said, as he had restrictions to follow and couldn't always do much as he was an active force in the world. There's never a straight answer with you, you know that? Naruto said to him. Naruto, I am literal death. The unknowing thing people are trying to unravel, so yeah, I'm very mysterious, Shinigami said as he disappeared. Just imagine him at a parent-teacher conference, Naruto said to Kurama, as the two laughed at death itself. The next day. Again, Mikey, Naruto said as he put in the boy's locker combo to get him out. Thanks, Naruto, Mikey said to him. I have a dojo, man, I teach self-defense, Naruto said as he and Valerie put the dojo to good use. That sounds cool. Maybe you could take it to the principal to see about starting a club or something, Mikey said as he knew some people that got bullied. Maybe, because this is getting ridiculous. Either these teachers finally do something about this bullying, or some kids better talk to their parents before something bad happens, Naruto said, as their principal Ishiyama didn't seem to be doing much of anything when bullying was happening. Lancer at least calls people out on it, he said, as the bald man was probably the only teacher here who'd do at least something to be fair. Anyways, thanks, Mikey said as he ran off to go to class. I see some things never change around here. There will always be bullies. Sydney's voice came from his locker. Dude, you need to chill, Naruto said, glad he knew DANI's locker combination. Listen, violence leads to more violence, and there is the right way and the wrong way. We stoop to their level to get even. We're no better than them. It's different if you do it for someone else, but it still doesn't always make it right, he said to the victim ghost. You should write a book, Sydney said, as that was inspiring to hear. Trust me, I am not that desperate, Naruto said, as the Shinigami informed him of his godfather and gave him the man's collection as a way to skip out on the birds and the bees talk, but also told him the man's will left it books rights to him. I hear you, but what happens when nobody does anything? There will always be more bullies, and yet nobody does anything. Well, except you, Sydney said to him. It takes one person to stand up and step up when bullying happens. Naruto said to him, now do it for yourself, he said to him firmly. Do what? Sydney asked him. Stand up for yourself. Naruto said to him, Sydney, you need to stand up for yourself, otherwise things will never change for you and you'll always be trapped there, he said. You really think I can stand up for myself, even with how I look? Sydney asked him as he looked scrawny, puny, and weak. Yep. Naruto said simply, I got class to go to, but I hope I don't see you here when I get back, if you know what I mean. He said as he hoped the boy could now be free. Sure, and thank you, Hafa, Sydney said as he felt Naruto's ecto energy earlier. Hafa? What's a Hafa? Half human and half ghost. You're the third one to be talked about in the ghost zone, Sydney told him, surprising him. There's a term for me and DANI? Naruto asked curiously as he thought he and DANI were unique, and who's the third, he asked curiously. He calls himself Vladimir Plasmius or Vlad Plasmius, and boy is he scary, he looks like Dracula, Sydney said as even in his trapped realm he heard whispers. Thanks later. Naruto said, taking off. We need to be careful, he thought as he saw DANI run to class being late. Few hours later. Naruto was walking down the hallway and saw DANI holding the mirror. Only problem was that the mirror was shattered. The lair must be gone, he thought, as if Poindexter left it meant it no longer existed, as the world was made by his subconscious. He looked out the window and saw an invisible Poindexter waving to him before flying off. Be free, fellow nerd, Tucker said, making Naruto look at him. Wait, you saw him? Naruto asked as Poindexter was using both invisibility and intangibility, which was hard for most ghosts to spot. Yeah, so what? Tucker asked, thinking Poindexter was only intangible. Tucker, only other ghosts can see other ghosts when they are invisible. Naruto said to him in slight curiosity, come to my house, I need to check something, he said as they met up with DANI. Later. No way he has powers, DANI said, looking at Tucker's blood. This reads only under 5% of ectoplasm in his blood. No way he can have powers, she said as the science was sound. Remember the Technus incident? Naruto asked her. Yes, swallowing Technus goo and having shrapnel goo removed. Tucker said, glad he didn't have a scar. I don't know, Tuck, DANI said to him. Technus became a virus. I think your body got affected in a similar but different way than Valerie's did, Naruto said as Valerie bonded to Skulker's tech from the massive ecto-energy explosion. Maybe you have increased perception, he said, not having any other ideas. Oh, come on, no powers? Lame, Tucker said, a little ticked off. Careful, dude, DANI said to her best friend. Maybe you do have a power, you just don't realize it, she said as Valerie integrated tech. Maybe Tucker had something similar. Tucker decided to concentrate, and they saw his hair lift like static electricity, and the tech inside the room began floating for a second, and soon his thoughts were being heard through his PDA. Man, it'd be so cool having powers. Come on, work please, the PDA said. Dude, open your eyes, DANI said to him with a slight smile as he opened his eyes and saw what was going on. It appears you may have the same powers as Technus, but on a lesser scale, or you may have technopathic powers, Naruto said as those were his best guesses. Then how do you explain his hair being all statusy? DANI asked him as Tucker's hair was flowing like electricity was flowing in the air. Perhaps he does have electricity powers. Maybe with training these powers can come out more, Naruto said as Tucker's low ecto energy also played a factor. This is so cool. It's like I can feel electricity around me and feel all the tech in the room at the same time, Tucker said excitedly. Careful, Tuck, take it slow. These powers are tied to your emotions, DANI said as she had power mishaps all the time. Okay, I need a cool hero name. Tucker Phantom doesn't feel right. What do you guys think? Tucker asked them. No, how about Techno Tuck? Naruto said as he was called a techno geek, a lot of name he used proudly. Nice. Should we be worried about using our actual names in our hero names? Tucker asked them curiously. No one has put 2 and 2 together, and let's be honest, there are a lot of idiots, Naruto said to them as he was most likely to be caught if someone saw his face. True, now if there's anything else, I need help with my math homework. DANI said, holding her math book, and since you seem to be in tune with tech, you can be my new math buddy. Awa man, I went from sidekick to partner, and now to calculator. At least I feel smarter than I did before. Tucker said, as he really did feel smarter. Train your mind then, who knows, the smarter you get the more powerful your powers may become. Naruto said to him, as he may develop newer abilities if he did. You should still stay out of the limelight, you don't have a second form to use, he said to the teen. True, maybe I can make a robot suit or something like Technus tried doing with the tech in the lab. Tucker said as Technus came back for a round 2 and made a mechanical suit from the scrap in the lab, which Naruto and DANI stopped cold. Whatever, come on living calculator, DANI said, pulling him off to the side to start on her math homework. And hey, you have the fair to look forward to, Naruto said, as there would be a carnival-like fair passing by Amity this weekend. Yeah, why do you think I want to finish this math homework so fast? DANI asked him, as she wanted to go to the fair so badly but needed to finish her homework first. Naruto rolled his eyes and chuckled as he continued to look at the reading they got off of Tucker, seeing he looked just as fine as Valerie did. Few days later. What the hell? Naruto said, seeing a ghost-type dream catcher as he entered the lab looking for DANI. Ah, Naruto, good to see you. I give you the Fenton ghost catcher, Jack said as he and Maddie came out of a yurt looking a little sickly. What's it do? Naruto asked them, as it looked like it actually worked. It separates ghosts' ecto-energy in theory, halving their power, Maddie said as she and Jack got back in the yurt. So it separates the ecto-energy from a person, taking the ghost out of them when they're overshadowed. Impressive, Naruto said, actually impressed by the invention for once. Naruto put his hand through the catcher and saw his hand separate from human and ghost, not something I want to fully go through what happens if you go through the other end though. He thought seeing it had a front and back label and decided to see what would happen. He stuck his hand through the other end and saw nothing, one end must separate, and the other binds, he thought, as this was a dangerous tool. Aren't you going to the swap meet? DANI asked him coming downstairs as their school had a game this week. Are you? Naruto asked, as he didn't like the jocks but wanted to show school spirit. Well, there's nothing better to do other than hang around sick people, DANI said, looking at her parents. Yeah, let's go, I think Tucker's going to, Naruto said as he had to convince the technopath to abandon his room as he had been connecting to tech for long periods of time, and DANI got worried. Yeah, who knows what we'll find, DANI said as she knew this particular circus as they were a yearly thing. Half-hour later. Here, Naruto said as they went to pick Sam up some soup and cough medicine before going to the fair. Drowsy and non-drowsy, thanks, Sam said as she liked options when dealing with medicine. Well, anything for my friends, Naruto said. She wants to be more than that, trust me, DANI thought to herself. Well, hope you get better. We're off to the swap meet with Tucker. Maybe we'll find something for you, she said. Let it be purple or black and I'll be good, Sam said, liking things that were in the shade of her signature colors. You got it, now try and get better, Naruto said as he saw her take drowsy medicine to sleep for a while. Half-hour later. There you two are. What took you so long? I've been here an hour and 23 seconds, Tucker said, standing outside of the fair waiting for them. Went to get Sam some soup and medicine, DANI said. You're forgiven, Tucker said, knowing Sam looked like a complete mess as he called her earlier and knew she needed some old-fashioned remedies for her cold. Now let's see what this place has got. You never know what you'll find in places like these, Naruto said as the place selling goods looked like an old-fashioned bazaar. Ooh, skateboards, DANI said, seeing some nice-looking skateboards and some wheels. You drive a scooter, both of you, Naruto said as that he knew for a fact. I didn't think you two rode, he said, as learning they were into skateboards was new. Says the guy with the awesome cars and motorcycles, Tucker said to him. I only have one car and one motorcycle. What idiot buys that many cars unless it's to stroke their ego, Naruto said as the blonde Manson patriarch sneezed. People with too much money to spend, DANI said as the trio laughed. Suddenly, they saw people running away as cotton candy began popping up all over the place. Tucker, don't even think about it. You swallowed ecto goo and got tech powers. I don't want to know what happens if you eat this, Naruto said, as he felt a minuscule level of ectoplasm that he almost didn't detect. Me neither. Besides, I like the blue kind more, Tucker said, and electricity too, don't forget about that too, he said, making a small spark. How can we? You keep reminding us, Mr. Shock, DANI said. Okay, DANI, time for a new lesson. How to fire your ecto energy in blasts or mold it. Follow my lead, Naruto said as he changed, as did she, and gave her tips on her ecto blasts as she was still having trouble with that power. Ecto blasts, duplication, ecto shield, and that's all I've seen from you. What more can you do? What more can I do? DANI asked, actually wondering what she can or can't do, as Naruto displayed much control and she always felt like a bomb ready to go off even with him helping her learn. Don't forget, my powers seem to be growing faster than you, dear, so of course I have more than you. But don't feel bad, you'll get there, Naruto said to her. Yo, Shinigami, Phantom, Paulina and Star are trapped in the cotton candy, Tucker said loudly as they were in the air. Why? DANI said whiningly as she had to save them. Naruto and DANI phased in the cotton candy, Naruto grabbing Star while DANI grabbed Paulina. Ooh, feel these muscles, Star said, feeling Naruto up, leaning into him as he held her, pressing her high C cups against his chest, her athletic body, and grabbed his shoulders, trying to pull herself up higher so that his hands on her hips touched her round ass. Hey, DANI and Paulina said at the same time. You're not so bad yourself, Phantom, Paulina said, a little jealous of her as she dated her dream man, as everyone believed the teen heroes were an item. Is she sucking up weight now she finds me attractive? DANI thought, a little heated, as Paulina always said she lacked in looks. The two dropped them onto the ground as they then finished up blasting all of the cotton candy. Now, how did this happen? DANI asked Naruto. No clue, this stuff has so small ecto energy I can't trace it, Naruto said to her. It's like it popped up like magic, DANI said as she didn't see a source for the wave of candy. Yeah, Naruto said before they flew away to find a safe place to change back. Few hours later. I'm telling you, Paulina, he was ripped, Star said to her with a blush. And that Phantom girl had some muscle and some looks, Paulina said, a little jealous. Here you go, the counter guy said as he gave them their drinks and popcorn as they went to watch a movie. Man, I wish I was like her so I can get the ghost boy's attention, Paulina said. Yeah, me too, Star said, thinking it'd be cool to have powers. So you have wished it, so shall it be, a voice said as Paulina and Star's eyes glowed green. Next day at night. How did you manage to talk me into being the mascot? Naruto asked her. Because you love me, DANI said teasingly, reaching inside the raven-like mascot and kissed him. Sometimes I wish you were a cheerleader, then I'd have an actual reason to come to these football games, Naruto said with a smirk, picturing her in a cheerleader outfit before the image of Valerie in one came to his mind as well. I'll be your cheerleader any day of the week, DANI said, unknowingly having similar thoughts as Naruto about herself and Valerie in cheerleader outfits. I have to say, dude, you're actually better than the usual mascot, Tucker said as the people were actually hyped for once. Thanks, and why the hell is Dash here? Naruto asked as he was sure the guy was suspended for a week. Ishiyama let him come back early, DANI said as she did not like the meathead as he picked on Tucker. Of course she did. We need a new principal and a new history teacher while we're at it, Naruto said as even though Lancer wasn't as bad as the rest, he still showed some favor to the Alisters. Really wish we had that new principal, he said. So you have wished it, so it shall be, a green-skinned woman in a blue harem dancer outfit said as pink smoke appeared. She had low eye-cup melons, curvy body, and a bubbly ass. A genie ghost. Now the cotton candy thing makes sense, DANI said as she pulled a little girl eating the cotton candy like an animal. Would you like to make another wish? The ghost asked, wanting a little chaos. Who are you anyway? Naruto asked the genie ghost. Actually, please, can you tell me who you are? He asked, trying to be polite to the woman, as like all genies he assumed she wasn't treated well. A respectable man. Oh, perhaps the times have changed. All right, mortal, I am Desiree, the wishing ghost, Desiree said, introducing herself. That must be annoying, DANI said. However do you mean, child? Desiree asked, curious as to what the girl found annoying. From what I understand about Jennies, there are limits to what you can do, and you have to grant 3 wishes or whatever you hear someone wish for, DANI said as she saw movies like Aladdin. Yes, I have no wish granting limit. I grant every wish that I hear. Desiree said sadly, as it wasn't an easy life, and she lived for thousands of years. I wish, Naruto was saying, then pausing in thought, that you can grant whatever wish you chose. He said knowing Jennies were tapped, so he thought about giving her a choice of what wishes she wanted to grant. Desiree saw her wristbands fade away as she granted that wish before crying tears of joy and looked at Naruto giving him a hug, then realized something. He's the first man I've touched in centuries, she thought, feeling his warmth and kindness. I wish for 2 cheerleader outfits, DANI said as Desiree looked at her strangely. You didn't grant it, she said, happy for her and a little disappointed. You're right, Desiree said as her powers were automatic. Hold on one moment, she said, concentrating. Then DANI's wish came true. Nice, DANI said, liking the outfits were hers and Valerie's sizes. I guess in a way you're free now, Naruto said with a smile before Desiree pulled him into a kiss. Thank you for releasing me from my torment, Desiree said happily, as being stuck like that was a hell of its own. I'm letting that slide as you're very happy, DANI said. Any wishes you made beforehand that we should be worried about? Naruto asked Desiree curiously, as he was glad he made his wish when he did, as Dash just wished for something. Yes, 2 girls wanted powers like hers, Desiree said, feeling a little bit of guilt and embarrassment. Girls? What girls? DANI asked curiously. One was blonde, and the other seemed of Spanish origin, Desiree said, as she didn't really keep track of names. Star and Paulina, Naruto said as DANI looked frozen. Fuck me, DANI said, as this seemed like her worst nightmare. Can you tell us where they are? Naruto asked her, receiving a shake. It's Paulina and Star. Where would? DANI was saying before 2 green-like comets blasted through the sky. Never mind, she said. You must separate them, otherwise they become full ghosts, Desiree said, as it was only a matter of days, but the more they used their powers, the faster the clock sped. We gotta go, Naruto said as he made a duplicate to stay and be the mascot as he left with DANI following Star and Paulina. Few minutes later. Hold it right there, Naruto said as he and DANI floated in front of the 2 new halfas. Wow, they really did get like me. Snowy white hair and black and white spandex and glowing green eyes, DANI said, even seeing her symbol match their initials, Paulina's being PP and Star's SP. Well, it's the 2 ghosts we've been looking for. Tell us, Shinigami, how do we look? Star said as she and Paulina struck poses, hoping to entice Naruto. You 2 need to stop, Naruto said as he could sense they were unstable. Sorry, Ghost Boy, we're looking to have some fun later, Paulina said, putting her finger under his chin and bends down to show off her cleavage. Oh, that's it, DANI thought as she blasted Paulina. This'll be bad, Naruto said as he knew this fight was a long time coming. Oh, it's on, girlfriend, Paulina said as her eyes glowed. Paulina, don't, Star was trying to say, but Paulina pushed her out of the way and blasted DANI. Naruto decided to take a step back from this particular fight as he knew DANI wouldn't want him to intervene. Aren't you gonna do something? Star asked him, worried about what DANI would do to her best friend. No, trust me, this'll make sense eventually, Naruto said, as this situation was complex. I just don't want to see her get hurt, Star said. You're a good friend, Naruto said as he was impressed by the girl's loyalty. Believe me, so is Paulina. She just doesn't show it to others. She has her nice moments, Star said as she's known Paulina for a long time and she didn't always be like the way she is now. Just be sure to be there for her after this, because I have a feeling some scars will be born today, Naruto said as something bad was going to happen to Paulina before this is over. I have zero clue how this'll go, he thought curiously, as DANI had skill and experience while Paulina's powers were steadily growing. Naruto and Star watched as DANI was being chased by Paulina. Isn't Fenton works in that direction? Star asked as that seemed to be where DANI was taking Paulina. Yep, follow me, Naruto said as they followed behind them. few minutes later. "Let's go beach," DANI said with a smirk as she was in position for a move Naruto taught her, drop dead. She said as Paulina went for a tackle, so DANI fell back and brought her legs to her chest, and when Paulina was close she kicked her into the Fenton ghost catcher. "DANI, wait," Naruto said as it was too late as Paulina went through and she fell through the other side. "DANI, that was the wrong end, you just bound her powers to her," he said as Paulina was now a complete halfa. "No, no, no," DANI said repeatedly. "Quick, let's shove her through the other end," she said, flipping the device. "No," Naruto said to her. "Freedom is the right of everyone," he said to her. "Okay, Optimus Prime," DANI said, recognizing the quote as she watched a lot of alien and space movies. "Paulina," Star said, running to her friend's side. "She is a true loyal friend," Naruto said, impressed. "Star, what about you?" he asked her, making her look at him confused. "Your powers are unstable, you need to make a choice, be human or like us, and if you don't pick you die," he said to her. "I want to be like you. I want to save people, I want to make a difference," Star said, making her decision. "All right," Naruto said as he put the end through her, merging her ghost and human sides. "Ah, man, does this mean we have to tell them who we are now?" DANI asked him curiously. "May as well," Naruto said as he changed back, followed by her. "Why didn't I ever notice the same name thing?" Star asked herself. Paulina kept quiet, as she did ever since she went through the ghost catcher. "Paulina, you okay?" Star asked. "As I went through that thing my entire life flashed before my eyes, and I hate it," Paulina said, surprising them. "I've treated others like shit, bribed teachers to get good grades, I hate it," she said as tears fell from her eyes. Star held her friend as Paulina cried into her shoulder. "Still think she's a heartless bitch?" Naruto asked DANI. DANI was speechless as she watched Paulina crying into Star's shoulder. Maybe she's not a careless bitch, she thought, as this was humanity. Few days later. "We're gonna play tag," Naruto said to all of his friends. "Dude, you're as fast as the track team, I can't stop you," Tucker said as he had seen Naruto on the track field with Sam, and he made Sam look like him in comparison. First Valerie, then Tucker, and now Star and Paulina. "Who's next?" "Me?" Sam asked curiously. "Well, at our current pace, who the hell knows?" Naruto said, surprised they weren't dead. "Besides, it's not us. Remember Poindexter? He told Naruto that there's another halfa out there named Vladimir Plasmius. From the sounds of it, this guy has been around a while," DANI said as when Naruto told her what Poindexter told him. It sounded like this Plasmius had more experience than them combined, maybe power as well. "Not all of us are really halfas," Valerie said, motioning to her and Tucker. "You know what we mean," DANI said to them. "Now, are we gonna play tag or not?" Sam asked curiously as she was excited as she saw Naruto as a rival, as she saw him as something to strive for peak physical fitness. Naruto suddenly gets her and the others. "Tag, you're all it," he said as he ran off. Sam liked this version of tag as they could work together to gang up on him, but before she could say anything they all left running in separate directions. "Don't just stand there, Sam, run," Valerie said as her wings came out. Sam shook herself as she took off, glad Naruto was in human form. Tucker was laughing as he used his electricity powers to hover on a sewer cover as he flew. "I love electric powers, I'm like Static Shock and gear put into one with some added features," he said as he liked to watch a lot of cartoons. "Tucker face," Naruto said as Tucker needed a disguise as he was too well known to a lot of people. "You try making a mask," Tucker said as even with his new abilities making one was harder than he thought, as making stuff was harder than using actual tech. "Nice try, girls," Naruto said, jumping up as he felt the girls surround him trying to grab onto him, but as he jumped out the way they crashed into each other, and Tucker put on a damn mask or don't fly, he said. "You try making one, damn it, it's not easy," Tucker said heatedly. "Okay, geez, don't bite my damn head off," Naruto said, backing off. Few hours later. "Today was fun," DANI said as she missed this, as it was nice to have stupid kid fun, not having the risk of being judged by one another, though almost curfew. "Thanks for walking me home," she said to Naruto. "No problem, baby," Naruto said as she made it in at 9:59. "Cutting it close." Jazz said, waiting at the door. Thanks. Does anyone else hear squawking? DANI asked, looking around as something was squawking. Ecto vultures, Naruto said, pointing up as 3 green ghost vultures were coming in with a dive bomb. Jazz ran inside and pressed a button, making a shield that the vultures slam against it. So glad this doesn't hurt. Naruto thought, glad their human sides protected him and DANI. Ouch. The 3 vulture ghosts say as they notice they are wearing hats and one looks like he has blind glasses on. Get inside, Naruto said to DANI quietly as Jazz just ran inside. Naruto quickly ran outside the ghost shield and transformed. All right, geezer birds, what do you want? Have you seen this guy? One of them asked, showing a picture of a young Jack Fenton, and from what he could make out from the bottom torn part, Maddie. No, who sent you? Naruto asked him as they all seemed like idiots. Vlad Plasmius. One said almost proudly, looking at Naruto, expecting him to piss himself. Well, here is what I got to say to you, trio of geezer birds, Naruto said, taking out a Fenton thermos. You stink like a Shinigami, boy, one of the birds said in fear. He's met my dad, Naruto said, as his father told him he had ever so rarely ran into a ghost. Guess I'll show them real fear, he thought, focusing his power. Say if you see that guy, can you give us a call? We're 2008 years old, and we're really tired from flying and would like to enjoy a nap. One of the birds said, tired. Tell him yourself when you spend the rest of your afterlives trying to find him, Naruto said as an orange Hanyo mask appeared over his face, and he then looked at the birds, making them shit themselves if fear, as he then unleashed a violent roar, creating violent hurricane-like winds. The birds looked at him in pure terror as Naruto then used the thermos and went intangible as Jazz got Jack, who started blasting everywhere inside the ghost shield. Is he seriously that dense? But to be fair, not all the shield tech can fry us, Naruto thought, mostly referring to him and the other halfas. Dad, you're inside the shield and they're gone, Jazz said, wondering where they went. Don't worry, Jazzy Pants, wherever there is a ghost, you'll find Jack Fenton there, ready to blast it to molecules, Jack said, speaking in the third person. You're welcome, Naruto said, glad he was too far for them to hear, as Jack had random luck with shots from being as blind as a bat to as sharp as an eagle. Few minutes later. Now why on earth would ghost vultures head right at us? Did they want to get shot? DANI asked as everyone sat in the living room talking about what just happened. Where are your parents? Sam asked, knowing they were strict with curfew, and she soon got her answer as an explosion happened downstairs. Yeah, and whoever knew Jack and Maddie back in the day, this is a photo taken from the late 80s, Naruto said. That make them in their college days, DANI said, as her dad liked to reminisce a lot. Yeah, but they were also scientists, so it may be from a friend to a rival scientist, Naruto said, as she did some research and found certain agencies that seemed like a bunch of idiots. But who in the world would want to off my dad? He's my dad. He doesn't have a bad bone in his body, DANI said, as her dad had like 25% of his experiments that worked, the rest either did the opposite or needed certain power to work. Yes, came Jack's voice from downstairs. True, but he does cause accidents. I mean, look at us on button on the inside, Naruto said to her, wanting her to know her dad didn't do a lot on purpose. DANI, come here, Jack's voice came as DANI came downstairs, followed by the others. I just got an invitation to your mother and I's 20th college reunion, and we want to bring you with us. You can bring your friends if you want, he said. No thanks, I can get a truck, Naruto said, as he expected something dangerous and clunky. Don't you own a motorcycle and a car? Jazz asked as she's seen them. You want to come in the truck or not? Naruto asked her as she then shut up. Can I ride with him? DANI asked her parents. Sure, honey, you can follow us in the RV, Maddie said. What about you guys? Want to come? DANI asked Sam and Tucker, as they had a choice in all of this. We're in, Sam and Tucker said at the same time. Well, if they're in, I'm in. I just gotta check in with my dad first, Valerie said, as he was likely to agree, as he was working at the lab a lot and didn't like leaving her alone, and they had a break from school. Road trip, Jack said happily. Next day. How the hell did you get this? Tucker asked him in amazement, seeing a red 2020 GMC Yukon. I'm loaded like you wouldn't believe, Naruto said as he had enough to live comfortably till he died. Hey guys, Valerie invited us, Star said as she brought Paulina, who was still looking a bit down. DANI turned to Valerie. She needs some cheering up, okay? Valerie said as ever since the merger and Paulina became a Haffa, she's been down in the dumps thinking about her life before now. You kids ready? Jack said as all 8 children went inside. All 8 teens went into the car immediately. 20 minutes later. Someone wake Tucker up please, Naruto said as Tucker quickly fell asleep and his thoughts were being broadcasted over the radio and it made them uncomfortable to hear him dreaming about being rich and they all worked for him as something dumb. Sam pinched his nose until he woke up coughing seeing the annoyed look he gave her. Dude, stop hacking into electronics, you're basically on a live Bluetooth to this thing. Naruto said, not holding anything against Tucker. Tucker blushed a little as he was an active dreamer and remembered his dreams. My dad said it would take at least a day to get to his friend's place for the reunion, so he wants us to reach a stopping point so we can rest. DANI said as her dad picked a stop near a dinner so they at least would get something to eat in the morning after they went to sleep. I'm surprised they can even drive that thing on the road. Jazz said, wondering if there's any laws about having vehicle like the RV on the road, as it was basically a military ATV. I'm surprised you all are being nice to me after how I've treated you, Paulina said. I'm giving you a second chance, DANI said, surprising everyone, because you seemed genuine in what you said. Also, if you ever betray or harm any of us, you'll regret it, DANI said as her eyes shined green to make her look even scarier. Thanks. Besides Star, I've never really had friends before, Paulina said as she turned he gaze out the window. Few hours later. Welp, I'm all set, Naruto said as he finished putting up his tent, and you all said I wouldn't need it, he said, giving the others a look as he chuckled. You're always prepared, I like that, Jack said, impressed. One of the things my dad taught me growing up, being prepared for anything and everything, Naruto said as Shinigami told him as a kid to prepare for what might happen and not try and predict everything that could happen. You're adopted, right? Whatever happened to your birth parents? Maddie asked him. They sacrificed themselves to save me from something very bad. I never got to meet them, but I know they cared about me, Naruto said as Shinigami told him about what happened during his birth, and he could hardly blame Kurama for wanting freedom, not wanting to be trapped inside of him as being imprisoned for over a century, and to have his new freedom taken away didn't sound fun. Me and my big mouth, Maddie muttered, feeling bad. Say, Dad, who's your friend we're going to see anyway? DANI asked, trying to change the subject and break the silence. Vlad Masters, used to call him Vladdy, or V-Man back in college, Jack said. Vlad Masters, the millionaire Vlad Masters? The guy who seems to have almost the same amount of money as Naruto seems to have? Jazz asked curiously as she looked into DANI's friends, curious to who she hung out with. Really? Jack asked curiously. Last I checked with my dad's money, we had billions if not trillions of dollars, Naruto said as his dad really had a lot of money. Ever think of doing something with it? Sam asked, wondering what he'd do with the money as she and her grandmother often made donations to charities. And what, become like all the egocentric, power-hungry, irresponsible millionaires out there? No thank you. I use my money when I need it, and however I need to use it for, not for every single thing. I'm a mega-loaded kid with more money than most people out there, but I have my dignity, Naruto said, simply not letting money take over his life. Mature, Maddie said, liking that. So Dad, why haven't you ever talked about Vlad before? If he was such a good friend, then why haven't we met him before now? DANI asked curiously. Because he hasn't talked to me in 20 years, sweetheart. Never has since the accident, Jack said. Accident? The teens all asked curiously. We had a prototype ghost portal back in our college days, and something went wrong, and it blasted Vlad, giving him a bad case of ecto-acne, ruined his life. But he's probably over that now. Vlad Masters, could he be this Plasmius? Naruto thought, as the two had the same first name, and with how they named themselves, and hearing he got ecto-acne being blasted by the prototype ghost portal like he and DANI were. Welp, good night kids, be sure to get lots of sleep as we leave early in the morning. Jack said, quickly going to sleep cuddling to a small pink bear. Star and Paulina shared a small laugh as they entered their tent to go to sleep, as did the others. The next day. Wow, a big mansion. Hey, bet he made it so big to compensate for something. Naruto said, making the others chuckle. You certainly don't have anything to compensate for, Valerie said as she and Danny gave him a look. Could use a new thing of paint, too dull. Star said as the mansion or castle was just gray, yellow, and green. Aren't those the Packers' colors? Naruto asked as he rarely watched sports, but there was a club with the football players who liked to talk about their favorite teams. Vlad kinda had a little thing for the Packers, Maddie said. It's my favorite team, of course I have a thing for them. Welcome to my humble home, Vlad said as he stood at the end of the steps. Humble's not the word I'd use, dude, Jazz said as this was basically a monument to his ego. To each their own. Oh, you brought friends, the more the merrier, Vlad said, sounding happy. He doesn't care we're here, but he does look angry, Naruto said as he was paying special attention to Danny and Jazz. Oh please, where are my manners? Please come in, Vlad said, being as polite as possible. Geez, Maddie wasn't kidding about having a thing for the Packers, Naruto said, seeing Packers merchandise, all of it signed. Is it really that bad? Vlad asked them curiously. No, but to have it all at your front door is kinda much. I'd understand a man cave or living room, but this is a little much, Tucker said to him. I tried fitting them in the man cave, but they all wouldn't fit, Vlad said angrily as he loved the Packers. All ghosts have an obsession. His can't be the goddamn Packers, Naruto thought as he was thinking Vlad was a Uber fan. Naruto and the other teens were all put on the same floor. So, Maddie, still looking lovely as always, Vlad said as Maddie talked to her daughters. You, Danny and Jazz said as Vlad seemed very creepy. And you're looking fine, better than you did after the accident, Maddie said nervously and uncomfortably as she knew Vlad had an interest in her in college, but she didn't feel much past friendship. They watched as Vlad seemed to get angry for a moment before breathing to calm himself down. Really wished ghost sense worked on Hafa's, Naruto thought, as his and Danny's ghost sense didn't work on each other or Paulina and Star, so the same could be said for other Hafas. A lot can change in 20 years, Vlad said morbidly. Hey moneybags, if you have so much cash, then why didn't you just buy the Packers if you like them so much? Danny asked curiously, as with his money he could buy an island. Because the Packers are owned by the city of Green Bay, and they won't sell them to me, Vlad said angrily. Obsessed much? Jazz said, not knowing the gravity of that word to the half-ghosts. You know children should remain silent at times, it keeps you out of trouble, Vlad said as he fixed his suit. Are you threatening me, Mr. Masters? Jazz asked him, giving him a look. Far from it, Jasmine, it was merely a word of advice, Vlad said, simply walking away. Naruto let Jack in as Vlad shut the door in his face when they came in. I think that guy has something for your mom, Valerie said to Danny. You gross, look at him, he's so creepy, like Dracula with the way he talks and acts. Hell, even his fashion sense needs work, Danny said to her. This place stinks of residual ghost energy, meaning this place gets a lot of ghost visitors, Naruto said as he had been sensing for ecto energy, and he found both faint traces and strong traces, meaning a lot of ghosts went in and out and a few were here frequently or all the time. Can't nail Vlad for this one, he said. A ghost of the Dairy Queen haunted this place, he thought, as after Poindexter some legends had some merit of truth. Later that night, Naruto, Danny, Star and Paulina all shot up from their beds as their ghost sense went off. Great, Danny thought as she sent a text to Tucker and Valerie that a ghost showed up. Naruto's black mist came out again, then saw Paulina had red and Star had yellow. Why are all the mist different, he thought, as the ecto energy was unique to them but had as much power as they did as they got stronger. The ghost power teens all changed into their ghost forms as Tucker had armor-like suit that covered his body. Where'd you get the suit, Valerie asked him curiously. You guys kept asking me to make a mask, so I went with armor, Tucker said proudly. Also, I used some of the electronics I had to cover my body and reshape them to fit, he said as he carried much tech with him. There has to be an easier way for you, dude, Danny said as Tucker lived up to his title as a techno geek as he carried much phones and PDAS and other tech. Whatever, just try not to zap us. Naruto said as Tucker's electricity powers seemed to be getting stronger through training and the tech added to him. Ugh, you three again? He said as the birds fell to ground actively shitting themselves as they crawled away. Okay, no way was it that easy. Danny said to no one in particular, what you do to them anyway? She asked, wondering what he did to get such a reaction. I scared them, but I think something else scared them more, Naruto said. Clever child. A man dressed in a white Dracula suit said to him. Vampire ghosts now? Star said curiously. Ugh, you need a makeover, buddy, because that look is so out. Paulina said as the hair was especially dumb. Vladimir Plasmius, I presume? Naruto asked him. You've heard of me, but I've never heard of you all. Isn't it past your bedtime? Vlad said as they all looked like teen ghosts. How about this screw you? Valerie said as she had an anti-ecto blade come out the top of her forearm. Ah, so you're the child who stole Skulker's old suit. Seems like you had an accident. Vlad said as he saw the suit was integrated into her. Are you like Technus perhaps? He asked as he couldn't trust the crazy mad scientist as he was binding technology to himself. I have his powers, Tucker said simply. So masters, let's settle this like half-us. Naruto said as there was no way he wouldn't figure their secret out. It took Vlad a moment. Oh, this is perfect, that idiot made not one not two but 8 half-us. He said, thinking Jazz and Sam, who weren't present, were also half-us. 6, jackass. Danny said angrily, hearing him badmouth her dad. And he just caused us, she said, referring to herself and Naruto. He made 2, but there are 6. How? Vlad asked curiously as they all looked more human, the rare few ghosts that could pass for human. Like we'll tell you, you crazy Fruit Loop, Danny said to him. I have 20 years of experience with my powers. How long have you had yours? Weeks, Vlad said as that was the amount of time he had been sending ghosts to kill Jack. He's right, I only have knowledge, he has experience, Naruto thought, as he was very powerful, but Vlad outclassed them as he trained for years. Now run along now, before you get hurt, Vlad said, making his hands glow with pink ecto energy. Watch it. Paulina said, her hands also glowing with pink energy. Pink ecto energy? I gained this through training. How do you have it already? Vlad asked, surprised someone so young has that much ecto energy. None of your business, Paulina said as Naruto did scans on her and Star and filled them in that they had as much as Danny since they were unstable till they went through the ghost catcher and stabilized. Ecto energy is also unique, idiot. Naruto said as each ghost had a unique signature, and even though mist ghosts had it green, there were rare cases when they had it a different color. Well, excuse me, I've only ever seen green from other ghosts. I haven't encountered anyone with orange, pink, or yellow energy before, Vlad said, as the only other ghost with pink energy was himself. Then check this color, Naruto said as his hands glowed red and he threw an energy ball at his face. Remarkable, you can change the color of your ecto energy, you must be a very powerful ghost. Vlad said, impressed as he never had an opportunity to study different ecto beams, always wondering if color had played a factor in their energy. I have more power than all of them put together. It seems like I grow stronger with each passing day. Fire powers, electric powers, ice. Hell, it's a wonder of what power I don't have yet. Naruto said as his powers were beginning to settle, for lack of a better word. Interesting, you seem to be growing quite powerful for such a greenhorn. Vlad said, impressed. How did you two? The ghost portal, of course, he said in realization. The portal I was hit with was a low dose compared to the amount shot into you, he said, as they would grow as powerful as him in a couple years' time. We know you're sending ghosts after my dad, but why? Danny asked him. Why, Vlad said angrily. He ruined my life with that ecto-acne, but I suppose some good came out of it, he said with a devilish smirk. But what he did, the most painful thing, was when he stole Maddie from me. She was going to be mine, but he took her from me while I was suffering from that blasted ecto-acne, he said furiously before he calmed himself down. You've been using your powers for personal gain. That's how you made your fortune, isn't it? Valerie said as she did a search on his fortune on the way here after last night, and a lot of his investors didn't make any actual sense. Ah, the youth of today, so smart. Vlad said to them, impressed. How about you all stop and join forces with me? He asked them as they handled his best grunts like they were nothing. Join forces with someone like you? A egotistical, revenge-driven, mad jerk who's obsessed with my mother, Dani said to him plainly. You're even fruitier than I thought, she said to him. Vlad went to speak, but he heard footsteps coming down the hall. To be continued, he said as he phased through the wall. We need to be prepared, Naruto said to the others as Vlad knew their weaknesses as he studied ghosts and himself. Yes, okay, but change back or something. I think that's my mom or sister, Dani said, hearing the footsteps get closer. Everyone went intangible and invisible, Naruto grabbing onto Tucker and Valerie as they didn't have the ability. I swear I heard someone talking out here, Jazz said as she was going to the bathroom. Maybe it was your father, he talks in his sleep, Maddie said as she was actually looking for him. Naruto and the others left to their rooms. Few minutes later. Can you edit the feed on these? Naruto asked Tucker as he searched the rooms and found small bugs that resembled Vlad. I prefer not being watched, he said as Tucker hacked the bugs. You he's a Fruit Loop, pervert and a stalker, dodged a bad one their mom, Dani said as this was creepy. Done, but they scanned our bodies when we had our powers active, Tucker said as Vlad had a live scan of them as these little bugs were high-tech. I feel violated, Valerie said as she wondered what he'd do with the scans. He might be more interested in you too, Naruto said looking at Valerie and Tucker. Me? Why me? All I can do is do things with tech and zap things, Tucker said, confused on why he'd be interested in him. And he has a lab here somewhere, Naruto said to him, and a ghost with tech powers might step up his game with his tech, he said as he and Dani had been working with Tucker to test his powers to see what they could do. Few minutes later in Naruto's room. Is it weird how the rooms are soundproofed? Naruto asked Dani as he wanted to be sure the others couldn't hear them. Well, Vlad is a creep, Dani said to him simply, but I'm real glad they are, she said to him with a grin. Naruto and Dani began to passionately kiss one another. Wait, I have a little gift, Dani said as she took out her phone, and after a few minutes Paulina showed up looking nervous and blushing up a storm. Good you came, she said, walking up to Paulina and began to grabbing her melons. Do you understand what me and Naruto are going to do to you? She asked her, whispering in her ear. Yes, Paulina said, averting her eyes until Dani grabbed her face and made her look at her icy blue eyes. This'll be intense, Naruto thought as Dani wanted a little payback and Paulina wanted to make up for her mistreatment to Dani. Dani rubbed Paulina's ass before giving it a smack. I think you need an actual punishment, she said with a wicked grin. You don't mind waiting a bit, do you, handsome? She asked Naruto, who was in nothing but his underpants. Not really, it gives me a show. I was always jealous of you, that's why I picked on you. You're so beautiful, Paulina said to her. Naruto leaned down and gave Paulina a kiss. Now tell us, Paulina, who is Naruto? Dani asked her curiously. Wow, you're still hard? Paulina said in amazement. Yeah, I'm a stamina freak. That's why Dani and Valerie have been talking to me about getting more girls, Naruto said to her. Well, you can have me whenever, handsome, Paulina said as the ride was insane. First you, then Star, because whatever you do, she does, Naruto said, knowing that Star wasn't that far from joining this harem if Paulina was in it. So what do you want me to do? Paulina asked, wanting to know how she could please him. All three had a blast and filled each other. Naruto smiled as he tucked both ladies in bed, and just as he was about to get between them, he felt something in the corner of the room. He approached the area and made his hand intangible and grabbed something soft yet firm. Hey, Star, he said with a smirk as the blonde girl revealed herself in her ghost form, her spandex discarded, revealing her nude body. Star started to mumble, not knowing what to say, and was surprised Naruto kissed her, a kiss which she gave into. Next time join in would have been more fun, Naruto said, groping her ass. Yes, master, Star said, wanting him to know she wanted in. Naruto smiled and winked at her as she phased through the walls to get to her room. Next morning. Gotta give the guy credit, this ain't bad, Naruto said as the food was served at breakfast was very good. Yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, Vlad said with a devilish smile to the teens there. "Oh, pardon me, I have something to do," he said as he left. Naruto gave him a glance as he couldn't make a clone to spy on him. He'd detected in a moment with his experience what's he up to, he thought, not liking not knowing, as they were basically in the lion's den. With Valerie. "What do you want, you Dracula ripoff?" Valerie asked as she was just about to go get breakfast. "You know, I've seen you in action, young girl. I have to say I'm impressed," Vlad said as he had Skulker go to Amity to pull up footage of the teens wherever a ghost had made an appearance, and he hired some detectives to do some work on each teen during the night, finding out much about them. "It's such a shame your weaponry is so limited, so I thought, why not an upgrade?" he said, leaving a small box there as he left. "What's your game, Masters?" Valerie asked herself, seeing a red suit with an instruction book about built-in weapons, and even saw a few weapons in the box, all looking state-of-the-art. Damn, can't pass this up, she thought, as all of these looked top of the line. Later with Naruto. "And he just gave it to you?" Naruto asked her as he, Tucker, and DANI checked them over. "Gotta give that batshit crazy lunatic one thing, these are state-of-the-art," DANI said, as these were better than her parents' weapons. "Yeah, you could take on an army with this tech. Anti-ecto pistols, anti-ecto rockets. This thing is the whole shebang," Tucker said as his powers found nothing wrong. "Either he's trying to buy us, or he's got a secret agenda in mind," Naruto said. "Check for cameras. Ever since that thing with the bugs, I'm not taking any chances on this pervy Fruit Loop," DANI said. "Besides the camera in the mask, nothing," Tucker said to them. "It's like that camera that scans stuff on the outside to show the person on the inside," he said to them. With Vlad. "And also has a live feed connected to it," Vlad said, as he had studied Tech Ghost to protect his technology and knew how to hide certain things, disguising them as another with anti-ecto-like hardware. Then he lost the feed. "Hey, come back," he said angrily. With Naruto. "Can you repurpose it?" Naruto asked him as he had Tucker mess with Vlad's tech in the mask. "No idea, this thing is advanced. My powers are having a tough time," Tucker said, as this'll take a while. "I just don't like cameras. That Fruit Loop ruined that for me," DANI said as Naruto took out his phone and showed her a picture from last night. "My faith is restored," she said with a smile. "Besides the mask, what about the suit's body?" Valerie asked, as red was her favorite color. "Trust me, he may have almost got us with the camera thing, but I'm not gonna slip up again, and the suit's body is clean," Tucker said to her. "Awesome," Valerie said as she put it on, and it seemed to meld to her skin. "When we fix the mask, you'll have your own outfit," Naruto said proudly as she was loving the suit. "Lucky, I can't change into a suit. I have to stick all my stuff on me to do anything," Tucker said bitterly. "Dude, you can make an outfit out of anything, why not make tech-like clothing?" Naruto asked him, as Tucker seemed capable of making things he'd wear out of tech. Tucker considered that for a moment as he was making a helmet based off the design of his hat, then had another idea and grabbed one of Vlad's spy bots he kept and scanned it and had ideas to repurpose it. "Should we go?" Valerie asked as Tucker seemed in the zone. "Yep," Naruto said, allowing Tucker piece to work. Few hours later. "How the F did this guy get our sizes?" Sam asked Naruto as they were on the stairwell waiting for anything Vlad would pull. Naruto said he scanned us with those bugs, remember, Star said to Sam. "I'm very disturbed by this," DANI said as she and the girls all wore beautiful, breathtaking dresses, all of them being their signature colors, but they couldn't fully enjoy it as they came from a madman. "He's gonna pull something, we need to split up," Naruto said as they decided to split up into two teams. Team 1 was Naruto, DANI, Valerie and Tucker, while Team 2 was Sam, Paulina, and Star. "Am I the only one worried he may try nabbing all of us?" Tucker asked as he felt Vlad was too interested in all of them. "Just stick close. Do we want to try finding his lab now?" DANI asked as her group had two tech-like people. Valerie and Tucker nodded. "If he's like any supervillain, it'll be in the basement," Naruto said, as that was where a lot of stuff happened. "What is it with people always having their tech in the basement?" Valerie asked. "Good place to hide shit," Naruto said, as people either used the basement for storage or to hide shit they didn't want people to see. "Ooh, I'm feeling a lot of tech," Tucker said, feeling a lot of power and code. Let's go, DANI said as they made it to the basement. Can you hack his computer? Naruto asked Tucker as he developed a new trick to store info on any device that had storage. Tucker looked at the computer and concentrated. No, he said as he couldn't decrypt the data. Check out all this gear, Valerie said, stealing some of Vlad's tech, adding it to her body. Guess he also wanted to prove he's the better ghost guy than my dad, DANI said as this made her parents' lab look like a joke. I don't know about that. This thermos can't even open up, Naruto said as he attempted to use the gear. Guys, I think we got incoming, Tucker said as a beeping sound was coming from the portal. Hello whelps, Skulker said coming out the portal. Skulker, how'd you make another suit? Valerie asked curiously. Who cares, come to she said, grabbing Skulker, wanting more of his tech to add to her arsenal, but was shocked. Skulker grinned. Please child, I've fought Technus many times as he's tried to steal my suit. This suit can't be taken by any tech power, he said. Knowing you, I figured that the two of you would have teamed up or something, Naruto said to him. And hey ugly, you forgot one thing, you rebuild your armor, the exact same as the last meeting. I can still do this, Tucker said as he typed into his PDA and made him do push-ups. What the? Stop it, Skulker said in confused anger. Nice man, Naruto said, till he saw two familiar ghosts. Oh, these dead pieces of calamari, please, he said, seeing the ectopusses. Oh please, Ammeter Hour, DANI said as she grabbed one of their tentacles and slammed them on the floor repeatedly till tossing them back in the portal. I figure that we can't take Skulker's armor while the little punk is piloting it, Valerie said as the last time she absorbed the suit and he wasn't in it. Skulker grunted as the place of his suit opened up, dropping cubes on the floor that rolled over to the floor before opening up and expanding, trapping them, leaving only their heads and necks visible. Ah, that's better, he said as he got control back. He then walked over to Naruto and made a blade come from his wrist as he pointed it at his neck. Finally, the ultimate trophy, he said with a sadistic grin. Skulker, that's enough, I didn't summon you to kill them, Vlad said coming from out the shadows. I must say, children, bravo, quick on your feet and very skilled, he said as he watched, impressed by their skills. I've been helping them train, Naruto said to him, wanting to be Vlad's sole focus, not wanting the others to be targeted. Vlad looked at him very seriously. Yes, the ghost boy, who is the supposed son of the Shinigami, a force of death and a part of nature itself, he said as he had heard of primordial ghosts but never met one or caught a glimpse and just chalked them up as rumors. Let me go and I'll show you how supposed I am, Naruto said to him. Wait, back up. Your dad is death? Valerie asked as she knew what Shinigami meant. He goes by many names. When he's on Earth, he likes Lucifer, Naruto said with a chuckle as his dad liked to mess with mortals. Wait, you knew about ghosts before me, DANI said as Naruto knew about them before even meeting her. I was raised in the ghost zone for some of my early years, Naruto said as his dad started bringing him to Earth in his early double digits. Dude, that sounds awesome, Tucker said to him. Not really when you're mostly training with him, Naruto said to them. Strange, Vlad said as he was doing a more in-depth scan. Some of your ectoplasm is blue, he said as ectoplasm. Blue? I thought ectoplasm was green, the others said in surprise. It might be binding itself to my chakra, Naruto thought, then realization struck. That's why my powers are growing so fast. My chakra is making my ecto energy match it, he thought. It looks like you've taken in some of Technus' ectoplasm, my boy. No wonder you have his powers, Vlad said as he noticed the power mainly focused in the brain for Tucker. And you, Miss Gray, I find no traces of my weapons in you. How peculiar, he said, doing an X-ray. Watch it, you pervy creepy Fruit Loop, DANI said, not liking he was scanning them all. The only thing special about you, Danielle, is that you are slowly building up more ecto energy. Must be due to the portal you stepped in. These require much more power than the one that made me, Vlad said to her. So we were made better. Ha, DANI said, laughing at him. Also, it's DANI, you fucking smurf, she said as she only let her parents call her by her full name. The others laughed at that comment, as did Skulker. Watch them, Vlad said in an unamused tone as he left. What to do with you, Skulker said as he took out a remote. Fuck off, micro dick, Valerie said as she was zapped. I can zap each of you separately and together, whelp, Skulker said to her. Good luck with that. I found out that I can also absorb electricity and not just shoot it, Tucker said till he was zapped. The box disables your powers, idiot, you're normal humans in there, Skulker said with a grin. Naruto was growling as he tried to break free and then took in a deep breath, then remembered something. He said, it responds to my emotions and will, he thought, concentrating. I think I'll make the Shinigami child watch as I fry you all. Especially you, thief, Skulker said, giving Valerie a look before he began zapping her, Tucker and DANI. Naruto became incredibly angry and soon a red blade came through the box. Whoa, Skulker said as Naruto cut himself out. Naruto's box was sliced in half as he stared at him furiously. What is that? Skulker asked as he looked at the hilt, as it looked ancient, a ghost relic. Naruto spared no words as the hilt became a scythe, and in a burst of speed he used it to cut off Skulker's head and grabbed his true form and sent it through the portal, closing it. That was so hot, Valerie said as Naruto made quick work of Skulker. Where's Vlad? Naruto asked as you could feel the anger in his voice as he sliced the box, freeing them. Just got hotter, Valerie and DANI thought. Upstairs, Valerie said as she took Skulker's newest suit and added whatever scanners and weapons he had. Imagine what I could make with all this tech, Tucker said, looking at the lab, having no problem stealing Vlad's tech. Make whatever you want and call the others. It's time for this asshole to learn to never mess with us, Naruto said, calming himself down, hiding the hilt as he didn't know what Vlad was doing upstairs, so he need to stay his hand. Tucker smirked as his eyes glowed as the tech in the lab began floating to him, making him armor. Dude, you look like a guy from Halo and Iron Man combined, Valerie said to him, impressed. Awesome. The suit gives me extra ghost powers, invisibility, and intangibility, Tucker said as Vlad had a lot of ecto-based machinery he was linking to himself, increasing the small amount of ecto-energy he had. Cool, I wonder what new things I can do now, Valerie said as Tucker tossed her the mask to the suit, and when she put it on, she melded all the scanners to the mask. Awesome, I got the powers too, she said in excitement as she got super strength and invisibility. Let's go kick some bad guy booty, DANI said eagerly, wanting to smash Vlad's face in. Upstairs. Well, secret identities may be thrown out the window, Naruto said as they saw Jack flying in mid-air. He's trying to ruin my dad's name, DANI said, growling in anger as her eyes glowed. I'm honestly surprised he didn't up and kill him, Naruto said as Vlad could have done that east. He wants to do that, but he wants to destroy him first, Valerie said as she watched a lot of movies and a lot of them had revenge-type plots. Let's get him, Tucker said, cracking his knuckles. Right, Naruto said, taking out his hilt, which was a yellow short sword. DANI growled as she charged at her dad, possessed by Vlad and turned intangible, and pushed him out. You know what he wants. To make this personal, I'll drop to his level, she thought, having an idea. You're going to regret crossing me, little badger, Vlad said to her. Guys, buy me sometime, DANI said, taking off. What's going through that head of yours, DANI? Naruto thought as DANI always played to get even with interest. Must take after her father, a coward, Vlad said, and received an uppercut. Says the man who was using another man just to ruin his life, Naruto said to him. He deserves it for ruining mine, Vlad said, hissing slightly. I don't think you had much of a life without those powers. You're just a creepy, pervy, messed up, lonely, pathetic Fruit Loop, Naruto said, going intangible just as Tucker and Valerie fired ecto-blasts. Vlad roared with anger as his chest smoked from the blasts before making duplicates of himself. I have 20 years of experience on my side. Sooner or later you'll slip up, and that'll be the last time, he said, all his clones in sync. Yeah, and I'm the motherfucking son of the Shinigami, Naruto said as he made duplicates as well. Anything you can do, I can do better, he said to him. Ha, in your dreams, little fox, wasting your powers on meaningless heroism when you could be so much more. Think about it. With my experience and the rest of you Hafas, we could rule this world, Vlad said as his plans would speed up faster exponentially with them. Read my lips, old man. Forget it, Naruto said. The Vlads fired at the Narutos, but they made shields and blasted the beams back, making the duplicates disappear as the real Vlad dropped to the ground as Naruto absorbed his duplicates. "Anything else you got?" Naruto asked him. Vlad growled as his eyes began glowing as his hands glowed pink and crackled, and he sent ecto-lightning at Naruto, making Naruto scream in pain. "Word of advice, boy, ghosts who died being zapped to death are more vulnerable to electrical attacks," he said to Naruto. Naruto growled as the lightning began to come around him. "What the?" Vlad said in shock as Naruto began absorbing the ecto-lightning before getting blasted by his own ecto-lightning. "Remarkable. You have the unique ability to adapt. That's how you gain more and more powers. I see that now," he said, as there were very few ghosts in the ghost zone that had adaptable powers, learning and becoming stronger. "Oh, shut up," Naruto said to him and sent a small surge of power through him. "You'll find I'm more durable than I look. Taking me down isn't an easy feat," Vlad said, feeling the shock, but it wasn't very strong. "Hello, Vlad," Maddie said, appearing before him walking through the rubble of the room. Maddie?" Vlad said, surprised, and remained frozen as Maddie approached him. "What the fuck is going on?" Valerie asked Tucker. "No clue," Tucker said, baffled. Vlad was frozen when Maddie placed her hand on his cheek and began moving her face closer to his. "Vlad." "Yes, Maddie?" Vlad said as he tried leaning in. "Go F yourself, you stupid Fruit Loop," Maddie said as her eyes turned green and punched him in the stomach, then his face. "Fruit, ah, very clever, Danielle. But you're not the only one who can exercise people," Vlad said in pain as he went intangible and charged at Maddie's body. "Really? Geez, how much pain can you take?" Valerie asked, wondering if he was more ghost than human. "Hey, vampire, reject. Eat ectoplasmic goo," Jazz said, coming in the Fenton RV. "Does she know we're us?" Tucker asked Valerie curiously. "Who cares? Duck," Valerie said as Jazz shot pink goo at Vlad and fired multiple guns that shot in every direction. "I've got you, honey," Jack said, running and catching the falling Maddie. "Time to go," Naruto said to the others. DANI grabbed Vlad and carried him with them as they turned intangible and left the room. "Yuck, I hope this stuff is washable," Vlad said, trying to shake the goo off before seeing them looking at him. "Okay, and," he said, expecting them to do something. "I'm gonna make you a deal. You keep our secret, we keep yours, dumbass. We're famous on the web while you look evil," he said to him firmly. "And why should I do this?" Vlad asked coyly. "Could you imagine my mom when she finds out you're the one who attacked us and finding out about this? She'd never want to see you again. She'd accept us. What about you?" DANI asked him with a superior smirk, seeing his look of fear. "Using your enemies' greatest weakness against them. I guess I taught you all something after all," Vlad said as he pulled a very dramatic exit. "Don't go away, mad dude, just go away," Naruto said to him as this looked real stupid. "Wasn't there a reporter here with the group?" Valerie asked as she talked to one earlier. "I don't think we'll have to worry about her. You know how the world is with ghosts," Naruto said as the world seemed to think ghosts weren't real, so they wouldn't believe her. "Awa, we missed all the action," Harriet Chin said as she got her camera. She had high C cups and an athletic body and ass. "Sorry about that, Chin, maybe next time," Naruto said with a wink before they all turned intangible and left the room. "I'll get you, you ghost punks," Jack said to them. "Jack, you said you lived in Amity Park, right?" Harriet asked him. Next day. "Be careful, Vlad," Naruto said as they were preparing to leave in a few hours after lunch. "Was about to say the same to you, little fox," Vlad said confidently as he saw Naruto walk away, and smirked as he pulled a computer screen. "Thankfully I installed DNA collectors into Skulker's cages and tech," he thought as he was looking at Naruto's ectoplasm, wondering how and why it was blue, and was wondering what it could do for his own power. Later with the others. Back to Amity, back to school, and back to annoying ass ghosts like the box ghost, Valerie said as they drove home. "Wasn't so bad," Paulina said simply. "Yeah, you got new toys. Tucker gained some new tricks. It was all right," Naruto said with a wicked grin that scared the others. "What did you do?" DANI asked him suspiciously. "What didn't I do?" Naruto asked as everyone gave him a look, and he sighed as he pulled up a small bag up from under his seat and tossed it to DANI. No fucking way, Danny said in amazement as Naruto had Vlad's signed football. Is that a ring to the first Super Bowl? Sam asked in amazement. Yup, Star said as she knew jewelry and that ring was legit. Vlad's gonna be pissed, Tucker said to them with a chuckle. Should we be worried about Harriet? I think she'll be moving to Amity Park now. Sam asked, glad Jazz was riding with her parents. No, and we might actually be able to use this, Naruto said as he looked into Harriet last night and saw she was a legit reporter. How? Danny asked him. Well, we get as much bad PR as we do with good PR, Naruto said to them as they were often blamed because of the damage other ghosts cause. Would be good to be liked for a change, Danny said as she got boos from most people, not counting some teens. Week later. Can't believe my wish finally came true, Naruto said as he laughed in the auditorium as Isayama was fired as she was caught for favoritism and was fired. Dude, you wished this before Desiree knew who you were, and her wishes came with consequences, Danny said as she wondered if this would be worse. If she's gone, who's gonna be our principal? Sam asked curiously. No idea, people are saying she popped out of nowhere, Paulina said as she had connections, but they didn't know anything. Attention students, let me welcome our new principal, Ms. Desiree Uzumaki, Lancer said, making Naruto become completely still as he saw Desiree looking human, no longer having green skin but had a similar dark skin like Tucker's. Why aren't we sensing her? Danny asked the girls as her ghost sense wasn't going off. Dude? Earth to Naruto? Tucker said, waving his hand in front of his face. I gotta go, Naruto said, walking away, Danny following behind. Few minutes. Hello, son, Shinigami said, sitting in Desiree's office with a smirk. Why does she have my mother's last name? Naruto asked his adoptive father. Short on ideas, and I rarely keep track of mortals' names, Shinigami said to him. That's not funny, it's my mother's last name, Naruto said to him as he told her he was the last of her clan, the Uzumaki. Just bear with it for a while, Shinigami said to him. You're Naruto's dad? Danny said in surprise as the man was fairly handsome, but Naruto looked better in her opinion. Yes, Shinigami, or as I like going by with you mortals, Lucifer. At your service, my dear, Shinigami said as he kissed her hand. You have way more charm, Danny said to Naruto. Ah, I almost forgot, Shinigami said as he took out 2 balls of light, one the size of a volleyball, the other the size of a baseball. What is this? Danny asked curiously. Life force. Normally I can't freely give this to people, Shinigami said to them. This is our life force, Naruto said to him. Smart boy, Shinigami said in a proud tone. You two are in the gray area of life, not dead and not truly alive. That is why I can freely give this to you. But what do we do with them? Danny asked him. And why is mine smaller than Naruto's? She asked curiously. Smart, fine choice, son, Shinigami said, impressed. To bring you up to speed, Naruto has very good genetics that I wish everyone had. I'd be less busy, he said as Uzumakis lived to their triple digits easy, while regular people nowadays died as around 50 on average. I can agree with you on the genetics, Danny said as she blushed, looking away from Naruto. Ooh, flirt. Anyway, Naruto and Danny, those are your missing life forces. You can use them for things within reason, Shinigami said to him. Use them for what? Dodgeball? Danny asked. No, child, life force is not something that has ever been given back to a ghost, but you two being halfas, that rule is bent, Shinigami said, liking loopholes. So what, you want us to use these on any ghost that joins our love circle? Danny said suggestively. You used mine, didn't you? Naruto said, looking at Desiree. You're human? He asked her. Halfa, Desiree said to him. I used yours to do it, don't worry, she had no quarrels, Shinigami said to Naruto. So his can turn ghosts into halfas. Can mine? Danny asked curiously. Yes, but understand these are not infinite, they are like credit cards. When giving a person they'll eventually run out and be empty, Shinigami said to them. Is that why his is so big? Danny asked curiously. I assume you are referring to his ball, not his equipment attached to his body, Shinigami said teasingly, seeing her turn a burning bright red. So if a ghost wants to join our harem, we can use these to make them halfas like us. Cool, DANI said, liking the idea. You got a real keeper there, son. Well, taught more people to reap and send them places. Shinigami said as he disappeared. I can't believe your father is deaf, Desiree said as she was still baffled and had remained silent this whole time. I can't believe you look like that. Those Uzumaki genes really are something. Naruto said, wondering how powerful his life force was. It's strange to be human again, Desiree said as she was still getting used to her humanity and was glad her ghost form was the same. Well, I have a feeling you're not the only full ghost to become an Hafa, DANI said with a perverse grin. I have to ask, why am I less perverse than you? Naruto asked her. Because you don't know what it's like to be surrounded by sexy women and an even sexier man, DANI said as Naruto would always be the center of her thoughts, perverse or not. Well, I have to say I'll have my work cut out for me. That last principal left me a lot to fix, Desiree said as she knew the woman was corrupt and took bribes and changed many grades for certain students that paid her off. Well, if anyone can be fair, it's you. Good luck. Also, if it's not too much to ask, can you sometimes, I don't know, forget our absences and maybe get us off detention? DANI asked her. All right, but don't abuse this privilege, Desiree said to them as a pink smoke came out her mouth and she saw them transform. A half a principal. What's next? A half a counselor, DANI said as they took off. They are too good and pure for this world, Desiree said to no one in particular as they flew straight into danger. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and authors pyrohelixdrago, KFB, Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.